My view is that it's not the sanctions that are hurting us, Trevor. It's the corruption, it's the maladministration, it's the poor handling of the monetary crisis. You recall that GNU period that I spoke of?
Yeah.
You know, the sense of optimism was huge. Sanctions had not been removed at that point. Let's do good by our people. Let's fix the country. Let's invest in health, you know, because I find these sanctions so odd that they don't stop the president from flying his private jet. They don't stop Chiwenga from getting healthcare in China. They don't stop them from getting baton sticks and paying police officers and buying tear gas. They don't stop them from, you know, shrinking freedoms. And yet they're somehow blamed for our crisis. It's not sanctions that are to blame. You know, it's the corruption, it's the bad governance disease that dogs this government that's caused us to get where we are. And so if it's about huddling up, we don't start with Z, we start with the ABC. The ABC is the necessary transformation and reformation and rethinking of these institutions, flushing out all the toxins and coming back to a place where we've got solid foundations based on constitutional democracy to take the country forward.
Fadzai, if you had an opportunity, and I'm going to give you the opportunity right now, to speak directly to President Mnangagwa, what would you say to him?
If you are listening, Mr. President, the first thing that I would like to say is that, you know, the people of Zimbabwe are suffering. They're suffering from hunger, hospitals are closed, there's no power, prices are going up, we're suffering from hyperinflation. We need to come to a point where the corruption stops. Stop allowing ministers to continue stealing. Let's come up with a new national consensus where we want to build genuinely. You squandered the goodwill that existed in November 2017. Can we now take a step back and put the country first for once? The opposition wants the best for Zimbabwe. Stop treating us like enemies. Stop killing people on the street. Stop killing the economy. Let's take Zimbabwe forward. Please comply with the Constitution, align laws to the Constitution, and sincerely, you know, allow people to have the freedoms that are contained in that Constitution, because you are hurting us. ZANU-PF is hurting us. And so we really call upon you to introspect, and in all the decisions that you make, whether it's on the decisions regarding a dialogue, regarding the budget, how you're going to spend money, the laws that you're going to assent to, put the people first. Liberation means people must be free, and yet currently everybody is walking around in chains created by you.
Thank you for that very powerful and emotive message.
It is depressing to read that the businessman Kudakwashi Tagurei, who runs Secunda Holdings and gets government tenders to run Command Agriculture, has been buying cars for the First Lady and the two second ladies, the wives of the two vice presidents, and indeed buying cars for the president and the vice presidents themselves. He bought Lexuses. One Lexus is worth $130,000 US. That is before you pay customs duty. Multiply that by 2. That is $260,000 US. Multiply that by 10 cars. That's 2.6 million. Now, let me give you a bit of context. 2.6 million would run Parrenyatwa hospitals for 3 whole months. And Parrenyatwa Hospital has been closed for 4 months. Command Agriculture is meant to give the nation, or was meant to give the nation, food security. Today the granaries are empty. Today the same men who are driving Lexus and Land Cruisers are going cap in hand to Western countries begging for food aid. This is why I've always said that corruption is the bedrock of our suffering in this country. It has nothing to do with sanctions. Now, I want you to take a look at this school. This school is in Mzarabani, in Mount Darwin. This is where kids are going to get their education. These cars that were bought by Kudakwashi Tagurei are just one of many cars that are being bought for these men and their wives. They have brought down the state to its knees. Take a look at this car. It was brought in by one of the very close members of parliament to the president, Mayor Wajikajena. It's worth about $500,000 US. That would run Parrenyatwa Hospital for a whole month. And yet the guy did not pay even taxes. And it is the grandmothers who continue to suffer in Gruwe, in Dotito, in Murewa, in Dabazinduna, in Masvingo, in Beitbridge. Better must come. Good afternoon.
The commission was even more corrupt than the work it was supposed to be doing. So I dismissed the whole commission. I created a new one, a new corruption. And at the head of that corruption is a lady, a woman, whose history is very, very